All right, now for the moment of truth. Well, it's thinking about it. Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So for today, I got something a little different. I'm back in the city. Boo to that, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm here. I figured I'd make myself useful. I'm going to tackle the solar panel project, which I made reference to in our last video. We've got a beautiful day here. It's just, I can't remember the last time we had the sun out for, well, now this will be the second day in a row. So I want to take advantage of that and hopefully get these panels up and running, give it a test, and see if they're going to suit my purpose. So what I have is an older style, briefcase solar panel. We picked these up at, I guess it was Costco. Yeah, it was Costco. The brand is unique. Never heard of them before. I don't know that it's very popular, but they worked okay. We used them with the RV. So it was great for keeping the coach batteries charged up, and I figure I could do the same. I just need to tackle the connections here. Basically make this work with the new solar generator I picked up. This is my Anker Solix C1000, and I'm going to be using this to power basically everything in the shop, from the tools, lighting, whatever power needs I have. It's going to fall to this guy because I do not have power in there, and it's a real pain to run a cord out as far as the shop is from either the house or our other little utility shed. I've already removed this crappy solar controller for the purposes of what I'm going to be using it. I don't need the solar controller because the Solix that I just showed you has its own. So I'm going to be running the panels direct into there and see how that goes. So get started, and then I'll catch up with you in a bit. So I actually caught a bit of a break today. I was in the truck just rooting through some of my gear there and came across my electrical tools. So that's pretty timely. These are my go-to strippers and crimpers, so definitely going to help me out. And what do you think of the spiffy shades, huh? This is what happens when you get old, kids. Alrighty, so why don't we take a closer look at a few of the items I picked up for this little project. Starting with this cable. This is the SAE to XT60 adapter cable. It's 3 feet in length. It is this brand, in case you're looking for something similar. And it included the, I guess this is like a polarity reversing adapter. I've read, kind of mixed opinions on whether I'll need that or not, but I'm going to try without it first and see how it goes. So this is the part that would plug into the panel, and then the XT60 is actually the connection used on the Anker Solix. So now you may ask, why didn't I just run the XT60 right from the panel? And that would be a good question. The reason being, this particular solar panel came with a few accessories, but one of them was a really long SAE extension. So I figured if I can make this work, then that's just one less expense I have to incur. Okay, next I got these, I guess they're like self-soldering butt connectors. So these are supposed to be marine grade, so they're waterproof. You get the different sizes, so it's a decent little kit, and it has the heat shrink tubing as well. So there's no need to do, any sort of crimping in this case. Reviews are good. Again, this probably won't apply to what I'm doing, but I definitely wanted to keep some of these handy for some stuff I have planned. I'll let you know how those go. And next is this Herzo brand, which I'm sure you've all heard of. This is a heat gun. Well, they call it a mini heat gun, which is interesting because I don't see that it's very mini. When I unboxed this, I thought, all that's really missing here is the grip. that you're used to on other heat guns. But anyway, it's pretty lightweight. It should fit in my box without any problem. It's got a little kickstand thingy here, and it came with this metal adapter. Okay, so I guess the idea behind this, it kind of gives you a nice uniformed heat inside there, so you don't have to rotate your, as you're making a connection as much, so the heat applies more evenly. So we'll see how that goes. And this particular model is 350 watt. There's 2 heat settings. And if I remember, yeah, so the box tells me that it'll do 230 to 400 degrees Celsius. So that should definitely be sufficient for what I have planned for it in terms of, the heat shrink tubing, etc. And came with the instruction manual. Haven't even checked that yet. Not sure I will. But another cool thing, which I didn't expect, was just like this ridiculous lifetime supply of heat shrink tubing. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 bags in here, all different sizes. So I thought that was kind of cool, assuming the gun is, decent enough. I thought, this is something I won't have to buy anytime soon, that's for sure. All right, so all that leads me to one item in particular I did need for this project, okay, and I'll show you, get it into view here for you. So this kit is made by a company called WorkPro, okay, and it's pretty comprehensive. Price-wise, it was under 40 bucks Canadian, and basically it's just like a great kit for your average Joe, DIY stuff. On this side, you can see you've got your tape. There's a kind of like a crimping and wire stripping tool included, extra wire, and a whole whack of heat shrink tubing. So again, I got more than I'll ever need. Bunch of zip ties, and it looks like some cable clips here. So let me just show you more here. The extra wiring here, I guess. And yeah, so there's the assortment of heat shrink tubing. It's quite a lot, and again, all different sizes. So that's cool. And a close-up of the tool. Okay, so that's it there. It seems all right. It's a little stiff. I imagine it'll break in with use. And here, let me show you the other side here. But certainly good to have as a backup. I mean, I have a dedicated crimper, and I have a Klein stripper that, is my go-to kind of thing. But, this could be handy in a pinch and nice to have in the kit. So you always have something at least. The reviews on this are actually really good. The only beef people had was, in some cases, the actual carrying case, it came damaged. So there was complaints about that. I guess it was a transportation issue, but I got lucky. Mine is perfectly fine. And when I show the other side here, you can see you get a whack of different types of connectors. Okay, so you got splice connectors, butt connectors, spade, ring. There's wire nuts in different sizes. You can even see they included some of those fabric ties, which are great. I actually bought a bunch of those separately. And then more zip ties here, like smaller sizes. And yeah, so gotta say, for the money, I think if you priced out all these things separately, you'd probably be looking at quite a bit more. And comes with this. Really no idea what that's for, but it looks impressive. If anyone cares to let me know in the comments, that would be cool. Yeah, so that's it. It snaps up. And just a little quick pro tip. When you've just unclipped it, try to remember before you pick it up. Ask me how I know. Anyway, so pretty cool. And I think this will come in handy a lot around here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test, I'll test the tool that came with it. I'm going to test the heat gun, some of these adapters, let you know how it goes. These are Amazon products, and if I feel that they're worthy of recommending, I'll throw them in the description. I'll let you know what I find as I go through it. Yeah, so one other cool little feature I didn't mention when I was going over this kit I bought was, if you could see it here, it has this little flip up tab thing here, this red one right there. And when you flip that guy up, it actually allows you to split the case. Okay, so now I've got two accessible sections, nice and flat, instead of having to, turn it to the side you need. And then you just pop open your covers and you're good to go. So pretty cool. There's very important work going on in here, and I can't have you interrupting. Okay, folks, so test results are in. So let me start with the heat gun. The heat gun actually worked really well. I could see where having the high and low, let me just move it closer here. Yeah, so the high and low function definitely would come in handy. This little ring here that I talked about before actually did work. I know when I was researching which one to buy, a lot of other models, people complained that this came off, but at least so far, this is a nice snug fit. I don't see it really going anywhere. So that's all good. It was stable, the stand works fine. So I give this one a pass for sure. And the fact that you get all this stupid amount of heat shrink tubing is just a bonus. So we're good there. The kit, definitely. I tried a few of the connectors, the butt connectors and the spades, etc. No problem. I mean, they're connectors, right? I mean, how much can go wrong? The tool itself, so it is stiff. And of course, if you're used to one of those spring-loaded tools, this would, you'd have to, when you're splicing, you have to back it out a little. But otherwise, it did the job. And as a backup, I think it's perfectly fine. The cutter worked great, and crimping's good, but it's like any other tool of this nature. You're not going to crimp as well as you would be with a dedicated crimper like this, but certainly good enough for a kit of this nature and nice to have in a pinch. The other thing I should mention about this case that's actually really cool, besides the fact that it opens up this way, is with all these small parts, and I don't know if you've experienced this before, but I've had similar kits, and the minute I turn them, okay, all the pieces kind of mix in, and then you end up with a jumbled mess that you have to kind of resort. But this case, I mean, they get it right, because once you snap it down, there's no play up at the top. There's no room for anything to move around, so definitely a bonus there. Now, where I had a bit of an issue is with these self-soldering butt connectors. So what I found was that after heating them, that the solder didn't, penetrate into the wire the way I had hoped. Now, I don't know if it's user error. Trust me, that's probably what happened. But I don't know. I wasn't thrilled with the way, and I tried two of them. I tried two of the blue ones. I wasn't thrilled with how it worked out. And then when I did some reading, some people mentioned that you should add the flux to the wire, and that helps it kind of penetrate more and get a more even kind of distribution of the solder. So that may be all it is, but yeah, I don't know. I'd hate to say get these and then you find out you have the same issue, that there's either not enough solder in there, or perhaps it doesn't spread the way you hope. I'm not sure if I can kind of show you what I mean here. Okay, so that little silver ring is what represents the solder, and then you would just shrink these first to grab hold of the wire, and then heat up the solder, which is supposed to spread over the two wires that are pushed together. But I don't know. I'm going to not recommend that, but again, probably something I did wrong. So there you have it. There's a summary of what I experienced with these products, and you know, hopefully it's helpful. Most dogs really only play with one ball. All right, now for the moment of truth. Well, it's thinking about it. Well, I think we're heading in the right direction here. All right, folks, so I guess it's time to put a bow on this little project. Hopefully in the previous clip you saw that the Anker Solix was getting the 110 watts I was hoping for, which is actually the rated capacity of this particular solar panel, so I'm pretty happy with that. I just actually finished applying some of this liquid electrical tape, and I figure just an added measure of protection, since this will be sitting out in the elements, and I had it kicking around, so why not? Once that dries up, I'll put the second coat, and then that's officially a wrap. As far as the connections go, so I originally planned to use, I believe it's called a step-down butt connector. Unfortunately, I couldn't source them in time, so I had to look for another alternative. And after speaking with a couple of people in the boating community, they actually put me on to this style connector. Okay, so it's similar to a butt connector, except as one side is closed off. So your wires basically go in through that hole, and then you crimp it and you're good to go. I was really happy with how the connection turned out. It crimped up really nice and secure, gave it a good tug, it didn't budge. And the other nice part too, being that, I mean, the size I had to use, which is what, the 16 to 14, it's pretty low profile. So, you know, the connectors bundled up nicely, and I was able to get them under the heat shrink tubing, and it sealed up very nicely. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. And this kit, which was from Amazon, has a ridiculous number of connectors. I am going to include the link because I thought it was a really good product. And if you have a lot of electrical in your future, something like this could certainly come in handy. I mean, the price was right, so that was great. So that's it. And I'd like to thank you for spending some time with me on this. Probably didn't learn anything, but hopefully the entertainment value was there, at least. We're going to be back at the cabin, I want to say in maybe 3 days, maybe a week at the latest. I really want to get rolling out there with the milder weather. So we have plenty of adventures to share with you. But thank you for joining me here today. And you guys stay safe. We'll see you soon. Ciao for now. Why so sad? Are you fed up with me sitting here yakking about electrical connectors? I don't blame you.